Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Evan here bringing you our weekly pick'em episode, albeit a day later. We had some technical difficulties over on my side, so sorry for that, but we are still getting it to you guys before the Thursday night game this week. Evan, how are we doing on this fine Thursday?
Tremendous, Caden. Tremendous, Caden. How about yourself?
I'm not doing too bad either, Dwyer. Not doing too bad, but looking back at this past week of football, not a great week for either of us. Conference championship week in college football. I go 3-6, you go 4-5, but we both get our best bets of Boise State -4 correct. And then in the NFL, I go 4-4. Dwyer goes 5-3 with our best bets of the Bengals +5.5 both in. So Dwyer, first week ever of you and me both having both having the same best bets, and we both get a 2 for 2. So that brings the season total. No college to talk about this week. We'll get it more once the playoffs start. But as of right now, Dwyer is 67-67-4 with his best bets at 5-3 in college. I myself am 72-68-4 with my best bets sitting at 4-4. And then in the NFL, Evan Dwyer is 53-60-1 with his best bet sitting at 4-4. I'm 55-58-1 with my best bet sitting at 5-3. So not a lot of college games left.
I'm trying to get you here, kid. Yeah.
Not a lot of college games for us to keep growing. We've got a couple playoff games. We might do some bowl games. We'll see. It's weird, though, with all the opt-outs, transfer portal, all that stuff, to really stay up to date with all that. So we'll see about that. But NFL, we're also getting towards the end. Fantasy playoffs start this week. Week 15 NFL action coming our way. So we're going to kick it off with the Thursday night game tonight as this is being released. And tonight, as we are recording this, we got the Atlanta Falcons going on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where the Bucs are a 5.5-point favorite.
Yeah, Caden. I mean, it's been a weird year for the Bucs. I mean, the Bucs they've been a good team all year, but they've also been hurt all year, and they've this last week has probably been an all-time low for them, losing against the Saints.
Dude, the Titans get a win to tie them with the Saints on my good old worst record, and then the Bucs go lose.
Yep, exactly. Bad. And with that said, though, I think this is going to be the healthiest team. The healthiest this team's going to be all year. I mean, they're getting back Mike Evans. You're going to be having Godwin there. Obviously, Ibuka's there. Baker's healthy. Bucky's there. Their whole offense is pretty much back. First time, full force. And I'm going to be really interested to see what they can do. We saw what Ibuka could do when Mike Evans was there and Chris Godwin earlier in the year. And it's going to be interesting to see now, because he kind of slowed down without Mike Evans, after he kind of became the main target that the defense has stopped. So do we see him go back to that first month of the year form, or are we going to see he's been all right again? That said, though, I really do like them in the spot here. I like them at home. Atlanta's they're a weird team still. They really are. I don't think they're a good team by any means. So give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The Bucs, they are a good team. They have underperformed this season. I mean, sitting at 7-6 right now, tied with the Panthers for the top of that division. And then the Falcons, they are not a great team, and it's even worse now with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I mean, he's just not good anymore. And they have injuries as well. And Thursdays, I'll just say, I've sucked at Thursday all year, but I am riding with you on the Bucs in this one. They are the home team, and like you said, Dwyer, they are as healthy as they've been since the start of the season, really. And that is huge for this offense, which has been kind of just lackluster over these couple weeks, settling for a lot more field goals than touchdowns, and that's really been, I think, hurting them. So, yeah, I do think tonight, against a not great Falcons defense, Bucs are going to come in, put up some points, be able to cover that 5.5. Now, getting into our Sunday slate, we got a big one in the AFC East where the Buffalo Bills are going on the road against the New England Patriots, where the Bills are a 1.5-point favorite.
Okay, this is going to be a fun game, man. I'm really looking for. Everybody's been looking forward to this game ever since the Pats beat them the first time around. Pats did it last time in Buffalo. Can the Bills do it in Foxborough? I don't think so, Cade. I really don't. I know the Bills are coming off a win here against the Bengals, but that Bengals team is just
that defense is so bad.
It's like an all-time worst defense. So it's hard to say because I really don't like this Bills offense. I think we talked about it a little bit last week. I think they rely so much on James Cook and Josh Allen with their legs. It's just I just don't see that working against a team like the Patriots with their defense. Their defense is elite. Their offense is elite. And on the road, there's just too many things for me not to pick the Patriots here.
I love you saying that, Dwyer. I do. And like Patriots, if they win on Sunday, not only do they clinch a playoff spot, but they will clinch the division as well with retake the AFC East from the Bills. And yeah, I'm with them on this. I do think at home, at Gillette in Foxborough, really your first big game since Mac's rookie year in 2021. This is your first meaningful game in 4 seasons. And I think this is going to be a big test, obviously. Your division rival, the team that's been running the division last handful of years. But the Patriots have a great run defense. They're top 5 in the league. And that's what the Bills do really best on their offense is James Cook, Josh Allen, ground game. And I think the Patriots are going to be able to slow down James Cook, force Allen not to throw more than probably they want. And they don't have good receivers in Buffalo. They just don't. So I do think Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis, so on and so forth, are going to be able to come in, lock down those iffy receivers, and then it's going to try to come down to the run game for Buffalo, and it's just not going to work. So, yeah, I do think the Patriots, as an underdog at home, come in, win this game, clinch a playoff spot, and are back on top of the AFC East. Then, Dwyer, speaking of those aforementioned Bengals, we got the Ravens going on the road against Cincinnati this week, where the Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite.
Ravens are on the road, you said?
Ravens are on the road, and they're a 2.5-point favorite.
Tough, man. I know over Thanksgiving we saw this Bengals team take down the Ravens, and I called that. I was very high on the Bengals with him being back, with Burrow being back.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna be flipping scripts this time, man. I'm gonna be going to the Ravens this time around. I do think it's hard to beat a team twice in a year, especially when you just play them back to back like that. This Ravens team's coming off a bad loss against the Steelers. You know, kind of a loss they couldn't really afford. And now they really can't afford this loss to the Bengals here. And just this Bengals team I don't know. I'm sure you've seen everything in the media right now. Something with Burrow, he just doesn't seem very lackluster, you know, which I don't know how much you read into that. But, sounds like T. Higgins isn't going to play with another concussion. And even though I don't trust I don't trust neither one of these teams. I feel like the Ravens are healthier, and I don't know. Maybe because they're our Super Bowl pick, I'll pick them. I don't know. I like them better than the Bengals.
I like them better than the Bengals this matchup, too. I'm going to be with you with the Ravens minus 2.5. It's just, after that loss last week for the Bengals, their season's basically dead. They really don't got anything else. Probably without T. Higgins. And the Ravens still fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for the division. They're a game back of the Steelers after last week. So they need to keep winning. And the Bengals defense is still terrible. I know that Ravens offense didn't put up as much points as we thought they'd be able to on Thanksgiving night. I think it's going to be a lot different on Sunday. Lamar, who has not looked good over the last couple of weeks, I think is going to start looking better. Derrick Henry. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a get-right game for this Ravens offense. They're going to come in, cover that 2.5 on the road. And then a big one in the AFC West, where the Los Angeles Chargers are going on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs, where the Chiefs are a 5.5-point favorite.
Initially, Caden, I look at this line, I just feel like this is a very big line for the Chiefs here, especially with how this offense has been playing. Chargers are coming off a big win, man, against the Eagles. You know, the Eagles they've kind of had their own they've been spudding them here a little bit. Still, man, you go in and beat a team. I mean, they forced, I think it was 5 turnovers overall against that Eagles offense. This is a good defense. I know the Chiefs lost against probably the best defense in the Texans this year. I think that's statistically they have been the best.
Oh, yeah.
But this Chargers team's probably a top 10 defense in its own self, and their offense is probably better. You know, I know Herbert had that broken hand, and it was weird. He had a lot of turnovers himself against that Eagles defense, but honestly, this Chiefs defense isn't as good as the Eagles defense. So I feel like at the very least, this is gonna be a very close game. But I would ride Chargers winning this game here. So give me the Chargers.
Hey, once again, I am with you here, Dwyer. I like the Chargers. 5.5 just seems like too big of a number here on the road against, like you said, a Chiefs team that's just really been underperforming this year. Yeah, every game's now basically winner go home for the Chiefs the rest of the season. So it is huge for them. But, the Chargers are still fighting for a playoff spot. It's a really tight wild card race here in the AFC right now. So these games are huge for both teams, and 5.5 just seems too big. Chargers, I agree, better defense. More fluid offense, more weapons offensively. Yeah, I like them plus 5.5, and I'm with you. I very well think they could win this game. I take their money line as well here. Now getting on to our afternoon slate, we got the Green Bay Packers going on the road against the Denver Broncos, where the Packers are a 2.5-point favorite.
Caden, this Packers team, I know I picked them last week against the Bears. I liked them a lot, and they covered for me in a close one. Came down to the end there at the red zone. Crazy game as usual between those two. But I'm gonna be picking against them in this one too, man. This Broncos team, man, they play winning football. They play a lot of close games. Like literally almost every game, they'll play a bad team. They play everybody really close. But with that said, man, they have a great defense. They win. That's all that they do. They win. And this Packers team, I don't trust them on the road yet. I really don't. Like they've been a weird team all year. They start off looking like, all right, this is the best team in the NFL. This defense is great. Sputter with the offense. Really, after they lost Kraft, they were like, what happened? Like they don't have anything. And then they started to turn it back on these past 2 weeks against the Bears and Vikings. But that was at home against the Bears, and I thought the Bears are a lot better team than the Vikings right now. And this Broncos team, I think, is better than the Bears, and they're going to be on the road here. So give me the Broncos, man. This team's just better, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Broncos are going to come and not only cover the 2.5, but win this game on Sunday. And I just want to go back to last week, though, Dwyer. We lost that Broncos cover in the most BS way. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. They're up 10 or whatever it was. They were covering a 9. And then with 5 seconds left, there's a defensive offsides, and the Raiders think, yeah, let's kick a field goal.
They knew. They knew. They
knew. They wanted to get that ATS record up. So we lost that. But yeah, in this matchup, Packers, I feel just safer with the Broncos as a whole, especially with it being played at Mile High here in Denver, where you've got a top 3 defense in the Denver Broncos, and then a good offense. Bo's been looking better as the season's progressed. RJ Harvey's great in the backfield for him. And then the Packers, yes, since Christian Watson's really got more inserted into the offense, it's looked more explosive. They're looking better. It's still not a great offense, I wouldn't say, by any means. And I do think the Broncos defense will be able to stifle them some there. So yeah, I'm with the Broncos plus 2.5 here on that one. Next game we got is the Detroit Lions going on the road against the LA Rams, where the Rams are a 6-point favorite.
It's tough, man. This is probably the toughest game for me to pick of the week. And I'm gonna be taking the Lions here. I think they're the dogs. You said 6?
6.
Yeah, 6. It's tough. This one's just. I feel like it could go either way. I still believe in this Lions team, kid. I do still believe this is probably the best team. Like, if there's a team in the NFC North to make it the farthest, I think it's going to be this Lions team. They've gotten screwed all year. I think their record doesn't really show how good of a football team they are. And I think they are able to come in, and then I think they battle here with the Rams. I could see them winning this game. I think they could lose this game close, but I don't think this is going to be... I don't think 6 is... It's just, you can't... I'm saying Lions, man.
Yeah. The 6 just seems too high in this matchup to really get offense. I do think the Lions are going to be able to put up points. It's in a dome, which Jared Goff is so much better in dome games.
Revenge game, too.
Hey, another revenge game back in LA, and then, yeah, you get...
Stafford, too. Shoot. Oh, my God.
You get 2 really good offenses, 2, I don't know, fine defenses, I'd say. Like, nothing crazy. And I think this could be a game where a lot of points are put up, and it's a close affair where the Lions either lose close or end up pulling out a close victory. So yeah, give me them plus 6 in that one. Now getting into our primetime matchups. On Sunday Night Football, we got the Minnesota Vikings going on the road against the Dallas Cowboys, where the Cowboys are a 5.5-point favorite.
Sorry, I'm finding the game. All right. Yeah, all right, so... I'm going to be going with Dallas here. I think Dallas had that bad loss last week to the Lions, and that kind of really hurt their playoff chances after looking really good. And I just feel like this is a must-win game for them, where the Vikings kind of they're out of it. They really are. McCarthy looked surprisingly good last week, which is kind of weird to say, but he looked good.
Yeah, the Commanders suck.
Yeah, they do. So they have one of the worst defense. So how much am I going to buy in this? But like we're talking about, I know in previous weeks, this Cowboys defense,
it's a
although
bad,
not good, it's looking better.
It's looking better.
You know, it's having its moments.
Mainly against the run, though. Like, they still aren't a great
True.
pass defense.
Very true. But make McCarthy pass. Let's see what he can do, you know? So I think this Dallas team, even if if they're without CeeDee Lamb, it's scary, but I still trust them to cover this line here.
Yeah, I trust the Cowboys here. I mean, Cowboys still fighting for a playoff spot. Like, they, in a way, still have a shot. I mean, they did not in a way. They do still have a shot at the division, especially after the Eagles lost last week to the Chargers. So they're still in the mix of a lot of things. Vikings really are just dead, lost season. Like, let's just get through the rest of the year healthy, basically. And the Cowboys are at home, even with the worst defense. I think, like you said, make J.J. McCarthy pass. He might look okay because this Cowboys pass defense isn't good, but you still might be able to run yourself into an interception or two. And then even without CD, I still think Dak is going to be able to put up some points with this offense. They'll come in on Sunday night, cover that 5.5. Now our Monday night game is the Miami Dolphins going on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where the Steelers are a 3-point favorite. Also, though, before you go into this, Dwyer, why does it seem like every year the Dolphins and Steelers play each other and it's always a Monday night football game?
You're right. Honestly, yeah. Like, if they just... That's just... I don't know, yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It's a good point. I never really thought about that. Yeah. But, yeah, Caden, Steelers, big win last week, right? They took down that was Ravens last week, correct? Yeah, yep. Big win. You think, all right, this team's gonna kind of like go into like let's win this football, let's take over this division. But I don't know, I just don't feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like this is gonna be a spoiler of the Dolphins here. I really do. I mean, Devin A. although he was hurt, could have came back in the game, I believe, with the rib injury. He was limited in practice, I saw on Thursday, so I'd expect him to play. I don't trust his offense. I don't like their defense. I don't really like anything with the Steelers. And I'm assuming from that laugh, you probably picked pretty similar to me, so we'll see.
Oh, Dwyer, so unless our best bets are different this week, you're not going to have any chance to gain ground on me because I'm also on the Dolphins +3. The Steelers are, like you said, big win last week. They're still, I don't think, that good of a team. And the Dolphins have been playing much better football over this last handful of weeks. Look, especially in the ground attack, like, Devon Achan's been looking incredible this last handful of games. We're getting 100 yards a game. Very well could see that again. I'm not Cowboys. Steelers' offense is not good, really. Like, they can maybe go on long drives, but they're not going to put up a bunch of touchdowns. It might be a Boswell game, low-scoring affair, that the Dolphins end up being able to cover that 3 on Monday night.
I got to start picking first. You got to start picking first, man. This is just
not going to change anything.
I know the best bet. Then I could change mid, so I'm just like, oh, I got a chance to catch ground here.
Well, let's hear what your best bet is this week, Evan Dwyer.
All right, Caden. Well, probably the biggest news of the week, Philip Rivers is back.
Okay, we have the same best bet, too. Let's go.
Yep, and, I love Philip Rivers. I'm so happy to see him back in football after 5 years. Literally, like, I saw this tweet. I thought it was so funny. He's just, like, he was literally, like, a year away from being pretty much elected to the Hall of Fame. And, he's, like, screw. Like, probably the biggest accomplishment you could have in football is becoming a Hall of Famer. And he's like, let me push that back 5 years and just, like, go, like, teach these, like, young bloods a lesson for a month. I'm like, I love that, And... yeah, now they play probably, I think, arguably one of the best teams, if not the best team in football, in the Seattle Seahawks. On the road, too. On the road. I don't...
Hey, and it might not even be Phil. It might be Riley Leonard, who didn't look great last week, and he was been injured all this week.
So we really don't know. And, God, it sounds like a movie if he could go in and win this football game. It really would be. Like, this better be a movie if they win this game, but... there's no way. There's no way. There's just no way they put up enough points, and this Seattle defense or offense is going to put it up with a Sauce Gardner-less Colts defense.
Yeah. My best bet is also Seattle -13.5 at home against the Colts. They're the better football team. Their defense, I mean, all they're going to have to do is stack the box, stop Jonathan Taylor, and they're not going to be able to really move the ball offensively. And then that Colts defense, especially without Sauce Gardner, is not great. Jackson Smith and Jigba probably going to have a big game once again. And the Seahawks are going to, at home, come in, have a nice, easy, carefree victory, cover the 13.5. Yours and mine, lock of the week.
God dang it, Caden. Oh. I was gonna pick the Panthers against the Saints, but I'm like, screw it. Like that's what I had a feeling you're gonna be picking them too. Like as I was like picking it out, I'm like, he's gonna do it, isn't he? He's gonna do it. Whatever.
9 for 9, the same. 8 games, the best bet.
We gotta switch it up next week.
It's got to be a good week. It's got to be a good week for us.
We won our best bets last week, right? You said the Bengals covered.
Yeah. Bengals and Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State. That was an easy one. That one covered pretty easily. So.
Bengals was 5.5. They lost by 5.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. I thought we had them at 5 on the dot. All right.
Yeah, we had them at 5.5.
Nice. All right, nice.
So, yeah, hopefully, that can continue on.
Mm-hmm.
Our best bet hits again, and then the 8 picks we have the same. I don't know, 6-2, 7-1.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, if there's a week for us to lose a best bet together, I would not mind seeing Philip Rivers go in and beat Seattle.
If Philip Rivers is the starter, I'm fine watching him go in and win that game.
That game will be on.
If it's Riley Leonard, though, I hope the Seahawks demolish. Because I don't care if Riley Leonard goes and gets a victory.
They're gonna stack the box. JT's not gonna be able to go anywhere. Like it's. It really does bother me how I don't think I've seen a football team collapse as hard as the Colts. I think, there's not a team that really, I know there's been a couple, even this year, the Chiefs and stuff like that. I mean, the Colts a month ago were, literally power ranking number 1 in football. At trade deadline, they're this is the best team in football. Now it's literally, turned into every Colts season, but just so fast. It's just so sad to see. And Danny Jones out for the, it's just, oh my God.
They're gonna start 8-2 and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, really. And I don't know, what do you do? What do you do now that Daniel Jones, he's on a contract year, he just tore his Achilles? Do you give him a discount? Is someone else going to pay up? Do you pay Daniel Jones? Because he's coming,
No.
What do they do?
You take a quarterback in the first round.
I mean, they're not going to have that high of a pick. They're going to be... What quarterback do they go after? You need to trade up. They don't have picks. They gave him for sauce.
They'll have. Oh, they don't have their pick. That's right.
Or next year either.
The Jets.
They're going to sign Daniel Jones, Kate.
They will sign. No, you're right. They're going to re-sign Daniel Jones, and it's going to be terrible.
See, he already screwed over the Giants with a giant contract. He's going to screw over the Colts. It's hard not to pay him though, because we saw what they were with him. He's been able. I mean, yes, granted it was an easier schedule, but still, I don't mind paying him. It's just Achilles, and
that's a hard one to come back from.
I mean, at least he's younger, but still, you're what's that gonna look like? You think you'd want a long-term deal, but they're gonna want a prove-it deal, and it's just
1
the whole
year.
Sam Darnold thing. Maybe but they don't have another option. They're not going to start.
They really don't.
Richardson, he's gone. It's
complete bust.
Gone. If anything, this is the time for Riley Leonard to show are you worth keeping around?
Undrafted free agent Riley Leonard.
Yeah, it's honestly what it is. I mean,
out of Notre Dame.
But yeah, it's just Notre Dame legend, baby. Woo.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting for sure. It's gonna. That game's going to get a lot more eyeballs than it should, especially if Philip Rivers is playing.
And it's going to be so boring, too. Philip Rivers is going to be little short screen passes to Tyler Ward. And everyone's oh my God, how is he out there doing that dinosaur out there? Yeah. It is
a complete statue in the pocket.
A grandpa. I wonder if that's the first ever grandpa to be able to playing in the NFL. I think that's awesome.
Maybe back in the day.
Yeah, no way in the current NFL era though. No way.
When George Blanda was 48 or something.
Yeah, okay, maybe,
Maybe exactly. But definitely modern. It's a first of its kind.
For sure. And again, I hope he loses our best bet for us. Goes out, throws for 350 and 4 tutties with no picks, dude. Oh my God,
it'd be insane.
Awesome.
100%. Yeah. Well, Dwyer, do you have anything else before we do depart today?
Pick different games, kid. That's all I got.
Yeah, hey. 9 for 9 the same. Let's hope it's a great week for the Untouchaballs. Well, if you guys did enjoy today's episode, make sure to leave a like down below. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And what is your guys' best bet for the week? Let us know in the comments down below. Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload of the Untouchaballs podcast. And share this with your friends, family, strangers, neighbors, anything like that. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.